remains one of humanity's greatest challenges. The target is to achieve zero hunger by 2030. That's the United Nations goal. But the world is a long way from achieving that. According to the UN Food and Agriculture Organization, the number of people without enough to eat is rising. In 2020, more than 750 million people went hungry, maybe as many as 811 million, around a...
Shalom, Israel. Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai Brakathum. Yahweh Shemarathum B'Shem Yahushai. Israelite School of UPK. Started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yahanna.
Right.
The home of the truth, UPK, 1 West. Back here again at the school. About to do it up in the spirit of the Most High. We're focusing on the book of Revelation. We've been covering the book of Revelation chapter by chapter, verse for verse. Today, we're going over Revelation chapter 6.
Khan.
Revelation chapter 6. This is the one really everybody waiting for. You know what I mean? This is the one I've been waiting for, at least. Y'all been wanting to go into to show you how important this truth is.
Right.
You understand? So we're going to break down Revelation chapter 6, verse for verse, give the understanding on these visions that John, a disciple of Christ, led exile on the Isle of Patmos as a form of punishment. What these visions represent, what they mean, the understanding of them. Forget about what you heard in the Christian church. Forget about what you heard from your fake Israelite group and what they teach about, the book of Revelation. This is the official breakdown of Revelation chapters 1 through 22 right here. Israelite School of UPK, 1 West, under Commanding General Yahanna. And without further ado, let's break down Revelation chapter 6. But before we go to Revelation chapter 6, to break down Revelation chapter 6, Malakma,
God, sir.
Give me 1 Chronicles. 1 Chronicles? What are we going to 1 Chronicles for? 1 Chronicles, that's the Old Testament. Right? I'm going to show you. Now, this might be a little lengthy of a lesson, but that's good, though. That's good. Because there's plenty of precepts we're going to use to show you that, what the book of Revelation chapter 6 is talking about. So without further ado, if you could, Baba Kushai, read 1 Chronicles chapter 21. I want you to start at verse 1 for me, brother.
Khan, sir. The book of Chronicles. So like the book of 1 Chronicles, chapter 21, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And Satan stood up against Israel.
And Satan stood up against Israel. Go ahead.
And provoked David to number Israel.
Keep going.
And David said to Joab and to the rulers of the people, go, number, and bring the number of them to me, that I may know it.
Right. Keep going.
And Joab answered, the Lord make his people 100 times.
So the situation is Satan crept in David's mind to tempt the Most High, because numbering the children of Israel is something that the Most High forbid the children of Israel to do. As a king, as someone in authority, David was not supposed to collect a census of the children of Israel. And so, long story short, David sent out one of his top-ranking men, Joab, to go and lead a census of the children of Israel. And even Joab, as we'll read, at first neglected to do so. In his mind, he had I don't know, sir, but, why would you want to do this? Right? As we'll read. And all of this will make sense. It's all going to come together as we read in Revelation chapter 6. I'm trying not to give it away because I'm really excited to break this down. The water to the Most High, Yahushua, and the man above me who answered my million phone calls. Go ahead.
Right. And Joab answered the Lord, make his people 100 times so many more as they be. But my lord, the king, are they not all my lord's servants? Why then doth my lord require this thing?
Keep going.
Why will he be a cause of trespass to Israel?
Right? You hear that, right? So Joab knew that this was an offense. Why would you cause this trespass on Israel? Being king, right? And this is King David, the man that slew Goliath, the man who, was the Philistine assassin.
Right.
He was slaying Philistines. Edomites are our number one enemy today, but boy, them Hamites and them Philistines, they was, our number one enemy back in David's time, back in the book of Samuel and that era of Israelite history. The Philistines, brother, good night. But David was known for putting them down amongst other Hamitic tribes, right? Keep going.
Khan. Why will he be a cause of trespass to Israel? Nevertheless, the king's word prevailed against Joab.
He followed the order. Go ahead.
Wherefore Joab departed and went throughout all Israel and came to Jerusalem. And Joab gave the sum of the number of the people unto David. And all they of Israel were 1,000 and 100,000 men that drew swords.
Right, these are men of war. Keep going.
And 10,000 men that drew swords.
Keep going.
But Levi and Benjamin counted he not among them.
Right.
For the king's word was abominable to Joab.
So Joab, as he's counting these brothers, he's counting the tribes and the men that drew swords. But Joab began to grow vexed in his spirit because he knew it was wrong. And then eventually he just stopped. He just stopped counting because he's like, this isn't right. Keep going.
And God was displeased with this thing.
The Most High was displeased with this thing David did because Satan stood up against Israel and provoked David to number Israel. And this thing did not please the Most High. Keep going.
Therefore, he smote Israel.
And he smote Israel. How? This is what we need right here. How did he smite Israel?
Right.
Keep going.
And David said unto God,
What'd he say?
I have sinned greatly because I have done this thing.
Right, keep going.
But now I beseech thee, do away the iniquity of thy servant, for I have done very foolishly.
Keep going.
And the Lord spake unto Gad, David's seer, saying, Go and...
David's seer, Gad. Gad was a prophet of God. A seer is a prophet. When you read the history of different kings of Israel, Israelite kings, they always had a prophet of the Most High nigh unto them. Like Zedekiah had Jeremiah. You understand? Even in the book of Isaiah, you had King Uzziah. Different kings of Israel had prophets nigh unto them to give them and minister unto them the word of the Most High and then instruct them in righteousness. You see? Keep going. Verse 10. So here we have David acknowledging his offense, right? This is all a part of Revelation chapter 6, brother. Bear with me.
No swear.
Go and tell David, right? The Lord is offended at the thing that you did, David. So Gad told him. Now we're going to look at the ultimatum David is given from the Most High by the prophet of God, Gad, and choosing his punishment for doing this.
Man.
Right? Let's read that, brother.
Khan. Go, 1 Chronicles chapter 21, verse 10. Go and tell David, saying, Thus saith the Lord, I offer thee 3 things. Choose thee one of them that I may do it unto them.
The Most High said, I put 3 things on the table for you to select from. If you choose this one, or this one, They all are different types of punishments from the Most High. A lot of times, the Most High had, more times than not, actually, he had to check these kings and remind them that he is the Most High. Yes, you're in a seat of authority and great power as king over the Lord's people. Yet and still, I'm the Most High. You see that? He had to humble these men. David went off. Cut it dry. David was going off right here, but he acknowledged his offense, but you're still going to pay for that offense. And the Lord said, I'm going to give you these 3 options to choose from. Keep reading.
Come. So Gad came to David and said unto him,
What'd he say?
Thus saith the Lord, choose thee.
Keep going.
Verse 12, either 3 years famine.
So you can choose either 3 years famine. 3 years is a long time, brother.
Right.
Of famine. Meaning what? Your crops won't grow. You understand? Your cattle and your livestock won't reproduce. Right? I will cause a famine in the land of Israel under your authority. Keep going.
Or 3 months to be destroyed before thy foes.
Or 3 months of you just losing battles. 3 months. Right? Keep going.
While that the sword of thine enemies overtake thee.
Keep going.
Or else 3 days the sword of the Lord, even the pestilence in the land, and the angel of the Lord destroying throughout all the coast of Israel.
The Most High said, I can give you 3 of these options. 3 years of famine. That's what he said, right?
Come.
3 years of famine. 3 months of you losing all of your battles, which will result in, great humiliation to your name as king of Israel, amongst many other things, and all the things you'll lose that you hold dear to your heart, David. These aren't random punishments. The Most High knew exactly where to hit David mentally. You see? And then he said, or I could send an angel to cause pestilence in the land that would destroy Israelites, and a pestilence so great that Israelites would just die. Man. Under your authority, David. You see how now you see how important it is for you to not offend the Most High,
right,
David, because you're putting the people that look up to you at risk because of the selfish decisions you made.
Right.
Keep going.
Come, sir.
Yep.
Even the pestilence in the land, and the angel of the Lord destroying throughout all the coasts of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Now, therefore, advise thyself what word I shall bring again to him that sent me.
Right. So Gad is saying to David, take some time to think about which judgment you want to select. Think about it real good. Keep reading.
Come, sir.
No sweat.
And David said unto Gad, I am in a great strait.
Mm-hmm.
Let me fall now in the hand of the Lord, for very great are his mercies.
He said, let me fall into the hand of the Most High, for very great are his mercies. Right? But let me not fall into the hand of man. Meaning, David didn't want to fall to his enemies for 3 months. So that's off the table. I'm not taking that, because man can be unmerciful, right, but the Most High is merciful, even in punishing you, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. Right? Us, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. Right. Keep going.
Come. For very great are his mercies, but let me not fall into the hand of man.
Right? So he chose what? For the Lord to, he chose the third option, for the Lord to send pestilence in the land.
Right.
Via an angel, of course. Keep going.
Verse 14.
Remember, the Lord said he will send an angel destroying all the coast of Israel. That's what he said. Keep going.
So the Lord sent pestilence upon Israel. And there fell of Israel 70,000 men.
70, how many?
70,000 men.
The book Chronicle means record. The whole Bible is our records. But the book of Chronicles is the records of the kings and the acts of these kings. This record is amazing in this. Do you see how terrible the Most High power is?
Right.
And how important it is for you as a leader to lead in righteousness?
Right.
You see that?
Right.
So, 70,000 blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, men, women, children, dead from an unbearable pestilence. Keep going.
Con. Verse 15. And God sent an angel.
God sent a what?
An angel.
Keep going.
Unto Jerusalem to destroy it.
Right? Keep going.
The Lord beheld.
No, and as he was destroying.
Oh, so like, and as he was destroying, the Lord beheld, and he repented him of the evil. And said
this
to the
angel is getting busy, brother. This angel is getting busy. The angel was giving the order. The angel I feel bad for doing this.
Right.
No, the angel, loves following through with the orders from the Most High. Keep going.
Con. And he repented him of the evil.
And the Most High, as David knew, he's a merciful power. The Most High saw that angel getting busy, and he had to stop that angel. Keep going.
And said to the angel that destroyed, it is enough.
Good night. The Most High had to intervene. Tell that angel, stand down.
Right.
Keep going.
And said to the angel that destroyed, it is enough. Stay now thine hand. And the angel of the Lord stood by the threshing floor of Ornan the Jebusite.
Here's what you need. Now, verse 16.
Con. And David lifted up his eyes.
David lifted up his eyes, brother. Keep going.
And saw the angel of the Lord.
What did he see?
An angel of the Lord.
David saw this angel of the Lord. Keep going.
Stand between the earth and the heaven.
Stand between the earth and the heaven, meaning this angel was in the sky looking like what? Keep going.
Having a drawn sword.
Having a what?
A drawn sword.
Having a what?
Drawn sword.
This angel was holding a sword. A drawn sword. The sword was not put in its sheath. The sword did not have the angel did not have a sword on his hip. The angel had a drawn sword. Right. Keep going.
In his hand stretched out over Jerusalem.
Stretched out over Jerusalem. The sword. You see that? Keep going.
And then David and the elders of Israel who were clothed in sackcloth.
Clothed in sackcloth.
Who were clothed in sackcloth.
No sweat.
Fell upon their faces.
Now, David, the Most High opened pay attention. The Most High opened David's eyes to see that angel. And the angel wasn't, going around killing people with the sword.
Right.
You understand? It didn't say that's what the angel was doing. How was the people of Israel dying? Pestilence.
Right.
So what is the correlation between the angel holding a sword over Jerusalem, stretched out, that David was allowed to see, but the people of Israel, they didn't see the angel. They just saw great pestilence and their loved ones die.
Right. Like, sir, if I could.
Go ahead.
That COVID-19.
Exactly. But an angel had his. You get my point?
Right.
Like, we didn't see the angel. David, the Lord allowed David to see the result of offending God. How terrible it is.
Right.
You think you bad with your sword, David? Listen. Right? And David lifted up his eyes and saw the angel of the Most High stand between the earth and heaven, having a drawn sword in his hand, stretched out over Jerusalem. Keep going. 17.
And David said unto God, is it not that I have is it not that I that commanded the people to be numbered?
Right.
Even I it is that have sinned and done evil indeed. Mm-hmm. But as for these sheep, what have they done? Mm-hmm. Let thine hand, I pray thee, O Lord my God, be on me and on my father's house, but not on thy people, that they should be plagued.
They should be what?
That they should be plagued.
They were plagued because of the unwise decision making of David at this point in time. And that doesn't take away from how great David was, but he slipped up in that instance. But that's a whole nother breakdown for a whole nother video, right? Which we've covered on this channel, right? And which we've covered in this school under Commander General Yahanna. Now, you may be asking yourself, what does this have to do with Revelation chapter 6? We're going to show you it has everything to do in understanding this Bible. Give me Revelation chapter 6. We've gone over Revelation 1, Revelation 2, Revelation 3, Revelation 4, Revelation 5, and here we are at Revelation 6. I would strongly recommend that you watch the other parts of this ongoing series of the book of Revelation so that you can get, an idea of where we are. It's very important. Understanding the geography, the history, the historical context, the time period, all of those things absolutely matter in understanding the book of Revelation. You see?
Right.
Revelation 6 and 1.
Concert. The book of Revelation, chapter 6, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
And I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals.
Right. Because in Revelation 5, there was a book in the Most High's right hand. And the dilemma was what John described. No one was worthy to open this book, or let alone take the book or receive the book from the right hand of the Most High power. Now, John also in Revelation 5 said that he saw a slain lamb, or a lamb that it looked like as it had been slain, having 7 eyes and 7 horns. And we broke down what that represented. But that lamb slain represented Christ, Mashiach, Yahawashi. You see? And he took the book out of the Most High's hand, and he was the one found worthy. This is what the angels and the 24 elders and the 4 beasts were chanting, right? Or in their song, saying that he's worthy to loose the seals. Now we're going to look at these seals and we break down the seals as we continue with this lesson. But I want you to really remember 1 Chronicles chapter 21. Because remember, John, a disciple of Christ, was well versed in what we now know today as the Old Testament. Jeremiah, Malachi, Deuteronomy, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, so on and so forth. So John, being a prophet and priest of God and disciple of Christ, wrote that way.
Right.
You get my point? He wrote what he knew. And I'll explain. Revelation 6 and 2.
Come.
No, read one again. Slack it.
Come, concert. And I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard as it were the noise of thunder.
Right.
One, what's it like?
Go ahead.
One of the four beasts saying, "Come and see."
Keep going.
And I saw, and behold, a white horse.
So John is seeing a vision, is in a vision. He's seeing a vision. The Most High opened John's eyes. And he said, and I saw, and behold, a what?
A white horse.
A white horse. Keep going.
And he that sat on him had a bow.
Had a bow. Keep going.
And a crown was given unto him. And he went forth conquering and to conquer.
Right. Now, this is one of the four horsemen. Popular, that's one of the popular names given to these horsemen.
Right.
Four horsemen, right? One of the four horsemen was on a white horse, and he had a bow in his hand, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. What is this talking about? What did John see? If you go outside, Malakma, and look up, you think you're gonna see a man on a white horse?
La sir.
With a bow in his hand?
La
And the bow is not a bow and arrow bow. It's like a staff. It's like a scepter, which represents authority and rulership. You see?
Right.
It's not this bow. It's not a Gadite bow. Right?
Right.
And a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. Right? What is it talking about? Remember 1 Chronicles 21. John was able to see something the naked eye, the normal human being can't see, brother.
Right.
You understand? Remember, when the children of Israel were being slain by pestilence, it was an angel with a stretched out sword extended over Jerusalem. You see?
Right.
Here's what you need. The man, the horseman himself is not Christ.
Right.
What this horseman and what he signifies represents the spirit of Christ.
Right.
Represents the spirit of Christ. We can't see the horse, but they do see the Israelite school of UPK conquering and going forth and conquering.
Right.
Give me Romans 8 and 17. Is it Romans 8 and 17? If you could see it in the heavens, in the sky, you will see a man on a white horse with a bow in his hand, going forth conquering and to conquer. But on earth, you would see the Israelite school of UPK. You will see the men of God standing up for the word of the Most High, conquering and casting down all falsehood and strong imaginations, like Paul said in Corinthians.
Right.
Right? All falsehood, all lies, all evil doctrine, all evil teachings. Right? Keep going. Give me Romans 8 and 37. That's what I want.
Khan, sir. The book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 37. Nay, in all these things, we are more than conquerors.
We are more than what?
More than conquerors.
We are more than conquerors. Go ahead.
Through him that loved us.
We're the ones that, in the spirit of Christ, are making way for the return of Christ. You see what I'm saying? The same way the children of Israel, all they saw was pestilence. But David saw an angel holding a sword over Israel.
Right.
You see? That's what you need to understand the four horsemen. And that is what the first horseman represents. Read it one more time.
Khan. Nay, in all these things we are more.
No, go back to Revelation 6. Salaki, that's my fault. We are more than conquerors.
Khan.
Right? Go ahead. And a lot of people getting, they say that this is Christ on this horse. That's not true.
Crazy.
Go ahead.
The book of Revelation, chapter 6, verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him. And he went forth conquering and to conquer.
Right. Verse 3.
And when he opened the second seal,
Meaning when we conquer and went forth to conquer, what John saw, he saw the horsemen going forth conquering to conquer, but on earth he saw men teaching about Christ. Go ahead. And on this side, and think of a horse. A horse is on the move. Like we're on the move. We're always on the move, teaching the word of the Most High, teaching the truth, confounding false doctrines. We're on the move. You see?
Right.
Go ahead.
And there, Salaki, and when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, "Come and see."
Right. Pop the second seal. Go ahead.
And there went out another horse that was red.
That was red. This horse is red. Go ahead.
And power was given. So power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth.
Real quick, go to Zechariah chapter 1. I'm going to show you that there's another instance where a man, and we're going to break down what the red horse represents, and the horseman that sat there on. There was another prophet of God who saw these horsemen alike. Like a lot of times the Most High would show these visions to men of God, different men of God on different occasions that represent the same thing, you see? And not only did they represent the same thing, sometimes he'll show them in a different way, but means the same thing. Like, for example, Daniel was shown the empires of the future empires that will rule.
Right.
He saw them in the form of a multi-metallic image, head of gold, arms and chest of silver, belly of brass, so on and so forth. But then he also saw them as beasts, different types of beasts coming out of the sea. But the same vision, though. Right? Some more in detail than others, but you get the point. John was not the only one to see these four horsemen. Zechariah 1 and 8.
Khan. The book of Zechariah, chapter 1, verse 8. I saw by night, and behold, a man riding upon a red horse.
Right. Zechariah said, I saw a man riding. Read it one more time.
I saw by night, and behold, a man riding upon a red horse.
Keep going.
And he stood among the myrtle trees that were in the bottom. And behind him were there red horses,
right,
speckled and white.
Keep going.
Then said I, O my Lord, what are these?
Keep going.
And the angel that talked with me said unto me, I will shew thee what these be. Verse 10. And the man that stood among the myrtle trees.
Zechariah said, what are these?
Right.
What are these horses? Who are these horsemen? What's going on here? Right? Keep going.
And the man that stood among the myrtle trees answered and said, these are they whom the Lord have sent to walk to and fro through the earth.
These, you hear that, brother?
Right.
Good night.
Right.
That's why I don't want to jump the gun, so to speak. Read that last part one more time.
Concert. And the man that stood among the myrtle trees answered and said, these are they whom the Lord have sent to walk to and fro through the earth.
These four horsemen, get Zechariah 6, go 5 chapters up. Read verse 1. These four horsemen go to and fro throughout the earth. That's what we just read. We sticking to the Bible.
Right.
Read that.
Khan. The book of Zechariah, chapter 6, verse 1. And I turned and lifted my eyes and looked, and behold, there came 4 chariots out out from between two mountains.
Right. When he says chariots, we think of the UFO, which those are chariots.
Right.
But back then, Zechariah,
Right.
his technological frame of reference in his lifetime and frame of existence, if you will, chariots was something that was the way people got around.
Right.
You have the as you see on your screen, you have the like today we'll say car.
Right. We'll say vehicle.
Right, vehicle or
Right.
a car, right? Like if I was writing this down, I would say it was, a red car and a white car. You get what I'm saying?
Salaki, we'll say whip.
Or a whip.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but that was his frame of reference. He said a chariot, these horsemen, which is why he was showed that way for a reason. Nonetheless, Zechariah is seeing this. He's literally seeing this. But they represent something. They all represent something. Right?
Right.
Keep going on that.
Kawakan. And behold, there came 4 chariots out from between 2 mountains.
Uh-huh.
And the mountains were mountains of brass.
Right. The chariots, at the end of the chariot, you would have the horse, and between the horses, some chariots held 2 horses, maybe 1 horse.
Right.
Right. And then in the middle you have where the man would stand, or the company of people would stand or sit, depending on how the chariot was designed, and then the rider.
Right.
You get my point? Go ahead.
In the first chariot were red horses.
Red horses. Keep going.
And in the second chariot, black horses.
And the second chariot, black horses. Read on.
And in the third chariot, white horses.
And the third chariot, white horses. Go ahead.
And in the fourth chariot, the Salakia, grizzled and bay horses.
Right. Keep going.
Verse 4. Then
which means spotted. Right? This is very much the same thing that John saw. A red horse, a white horse, a black horse, a pale horse, meaning a sick-looking horse. Right? Keep going.
And the angel, then I answered and said unto the angel that talked with me, what are these, my Lord?
Keep going.
And the angel answered and said unto me,
What do you say?
these are the 4 spirits of the heavens.
These are the what?
4 spirits of the heavens.
These are the different vibes of the heavens.
Keep
Keep going.
which go forth from standing before the Lord of all the earth.
That's what we need. So read it one more time to let the people know what these 4 horsemen are.
Kawakan. Zechariah chapter 6 verse 5. And the angel answered and said unto me, these are the 4 spirits of the heavens, which go forth from standing before the Lord of all the earth.
Damn right. Damn right. Now let's go back to Revelation 6.
Kawakan.
Go ahead. Verse 3.
Kawakan. And when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, come and see.
Right? Keep going.
And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat therein to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another.
Keep going.
And there was given unto him a great sword.
So this horseman on a red horse, it says that power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, that they should kill one another, and that there was given unto him a great sword. This is talking about the spirit of war and the spirit of destruction in the earth.
Right.
Like, think of, there's always been war in the earth. War is present. You know why the spirit of war and the spirit of destruction and the spirit of exactly what it says, no peace in the earth, and, the lack of, not the lack, but how often people die from unmanned drones and bombs and terrorist attacks. Right? What did this great sword represent in his hand? That he should take peace from the earth? What does it represent? It's the spirit of war and the spirit of destruction. Wherever war is present, I'm trying to illustrate it as best as I can to you. Wherever war is present, wherever, no peace is, that red horse and that horseman is present. You can't see it. So you can understand. Just like when Israel was dying from a pestilence, but David saw, because the Most High opened his eyes, just like the Lord opened John's eyes, and the Lord opened different prophets, Zechariah's eyes, to these different beings, right? They literally saw him, but we don't see that. We just see wars and rumors of war.
Right.
Iraq being bombed, or, Palestine being bombed, and, But if the Most High opened your eyes, you would see a horseman on a red horse doing what? Giving power to take peace from the earth, that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. The fact that he's red doesn't mean Esau, Edom. No. But this is talking about the spirit of war, the spirit of chaos in the earth that the Most High unleashed in the earth. The Most High is such a powerful, just good night.
Right.
It's like it. Keep going.
Come. Verse 5. And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, "Come."
Before you go there, before we get the third seal being loose and the third horseman, I want you to read Ezekiel 14. Right? Tripping.
Come, sir.
I want you to read Ezekiel 14 and 21.
Come. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 14, verse 21. For thus saith the Lord God.
What do you say?
How much more when I send my four
My
sword,
what?
My four
My
sword,
what?
My four.
My what?
My four.
Keep going.
Sword judgments upon Jerusalem. The sword. And the famine. And the noisome beast. And the pestilence.
The sword, war, the famine, self-explanatory. Lack of food, lack of the reproduction of crops and livestock and cattle and noisome beasts and the pestilence to cut off from it man and beast.
Right.
Brother, there was literally an angel standing over Jerusalem with a sword extended over Jerusalem as the children of Israel not died from a sword wound, but from a pestilence.
Right. It's heavy, man.
So when there's war and chaos and no peace in earth, that's because that horseman on that red horse is loose.
Right.
You see? Keep going.
Come.
Oh, go back to Revelation.
Come, sir.
On the next one.
Verse 5.
And this is not meant for you to go home and fear the horsemen.
Right.
Do you understand?
Right.
Fear the man that's ordering these horsemen.
Right.
You get my point?
Right.
Because far more terrible is the Most High, I assure you.
Right.
You see? This is not for you to go home and make a religion out of the four horsemen.
Good night.
But this is just what John saw in a vision. But what he saw in the vision is going on simultaneously on earth. The white horse going forth, conquer. You see us teaching. You see the red horse, the horseman on the red horse, was given power to take peace from the earth. That's going on in the heavens, right? But what's going on earth go hand in hand. Because that horseman is loose is why what's going on earth is going on, for you to understand.
Right.
Right? Go ahead.
Con. And when he had opened
where you at?
the book of Revelation, chapter 6, verse 5.
Uh-huh.
And when he had opened up the third seal,
Opened the third seal.
When he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, "Come and see."
And these four beasts are not the four horsemen. These are the four beasts we spoke about in Revelation chapter 4, right? Alongside the 24 elders that stood without the 24 elders that are within the council of the Most High, right? Go ahead. Which we went to an account in the scriptures where there was a council the Most High held. What shall we do to King Ahab?
Right.
Go ahead.
I heard the third beast say, "Come and see."
What'd he say? Keep
and
going.
I beheld, and lo, a black horse.
So now we got a black horse. Keep
and
going.
he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand.
Why did he have a pair of balances in his hand? What was a pair of balances used for in ancient times? To weigh things.
Right.
You get my point? To weigh things. Keep going.
Verse 6, and I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, "A measure of wheat for a penny."
A measure of wheat for a penny. Remember, he has balances in his hand. You would go to, you do that today.
Right.
Like when you go bag up some
some produce.
Yeah, some what's
Pears,
they
apples.
normally put apples in bags already.
Right.
Avocados.
Right.
You buying some avocados, it'll say, what are they now?
$10 a pound.
God damn.
That's a lie.
Where you getting avocados from, man?
You know how be the one with the avocados be
Good
ridiculous.
night. Them is organic avocados. Look, the avocados at Stater Brothers is no more than $2.
Right, $2.
I gotta stop eating that. But anyway, right? Which really goes to my point.
Right.
You weigh it, and then you know how much you're gonna be paying on the pound.
Right.
See, but one of the beasts said a measure of wheat for a penny. A penny is nothing.
Right.
A measure of wheat for a penny. Go ahead.
And 3 measures of barley for a penny.
And 3 measures of barley for a penny. Why are they getting this wheat for such a cheap price? And this barley, 3 measures of barley for a penny. Right? What does that mean? This horseman and the black horse represents poverty in the earth. Represents poverty in the earth, and not only poverty in the earth, the quality.
Right.
The quality of the food and the quality of the food you eat and the water you drink. Right? Remember when those cows had mad cow disease?
Right.
How much you think you could have got that cow for?
Yeah, that's a good question.
A penny.
A penny.
You get the point?
Yeah.
You would have got for a penny. That's because the Most High sent that in the earth. You understand?
Right.
In a vision that you can't see, but we see in the Israelite school U.P.K. We don't physically see it, but we see it because John saw it, and we reading it what he saw. But he literally saw it. He looked in the vision. The Most High opened his eyes and he saw it. He saw a black horse. But on earth, he saw a black horse and a man on a black horse holding a pair of balances in his hand, followed by someone saying a measure of wheat for a penny and 3 measures of barley for a penny.
Good night.
But on earth, just like an angel with a sword drawn in Chronicles, yet the children of Israel suffered from pestilence. The man holding a pair of balances and on a black horse, and a voice saying, a measure of wheat for a penny and 3 measures of barley for a penny, represents famine in the land. Poverty in the land.
Right.
Look at Venezuela, brother. Look at these third world countries. Look, not even the third world countries. Look at America.
Right.
Look at America.
Sir.
You see?
If I could, I don't want the ghettos, the barrios, and the reservations.
Yeah. Right? And the reason why you know it's about poverty, because if a farmer is selling you 3 measures of barley for a penny, if he's selling you a pound of oranges for, how much would you say a pound of oranges is would go for? Or you know how Issachar be on the block selling big bags of oranges.
Right.
Imagine if he's normally about what, $20,
Something like
or the
that.
big crates of strawberries, but $20, $10, $20.
Man.
Imagine if he sold it to you, so you can understand 3 measures of barley for a penny. Imagine if he sold it to you for $1. He's losing money.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? He's losing, and it shows you that the quality of it really ain't all that.
Right.
You understand?
So, like, sir, if
Go
I
ahead.
could, I remember learning in history class, right? Right before World War II started, they were saying that the Germans what were they doing? Like, going with piles and piles and piles of cash, right, to go buy loaves of bread.
Heavy. Think of all the lettuce recalls.
Right.
The chicken recalls.
Right.
Because they got E. coli or some strand of something harmful to the human body that's
Right.
not FDA approved.
Right.
Think of all those things, and that is what the man on a black horse represents. That's what that horseman represents.
Right.
See? But there's more. Keep going.
Khan. And see thou hurt not the oil and the wine.
But now, obviously, this man on a black horse, or this being rather, is affecting the earth. He was given commandment. The Most High gave this man, horseman, the authority to cause poverty and famine in the land, right? But then he also was told not to hurt the oil and the wine. What does the oil and the wine represent? The oil and the wine represents the priests of God.
Khan.
Who's anointed with oil? Give me Numbers. No, Exodus. Right? The men of God, the priests of God, would not be affected by the famine. They won't be affected by poverty. They'll be, we poor, but
Right.
I'm talking about no way to eat.
Right.
The Most High makes
Right,
sure
right,
as you
right.
eat, brother. There's no brother in the Israelite school UPK digging in trash cans.
Right.
Like in Venezuela, it's heartbreaking, brother.
Right.
They're going in trash cans and scraping up remnants of used eggshells
Good night, man.
and eating that. Using different ways to soften the shell to consume it. Go
If
ahead.
I could, I don't want what was going down in Haiti. They eating
Oh, yeah.
literal what
Mud
is it?
cakes.
Mud cakes. Good night.
Mud cakes.
Mud cakes.
You understand?
God,
But why are they eating mud cakes?
because they in poverty.
Because of not only that, because of our disobedience to the Most High.
Right.
We read the Most High will send them 4 sword judgments. And that's Ezekiel 14:21. Because of our disobedience to the Most High. Right? Keep going.
Come.
Exodus 29:7 to show you that with the oil and the wine.
Come. The book of Exodus, chapter 29, verse 7.
This is synonymous with the priest, though. Hurt not the oil and the wine. This is synonymous with the priest. Go ahead.
Then shalt thou take the anointing oil and pour it upon his head and anoint him.
The anointing oil was poured on the heads of priests of God. You see? The wine, give me Numbers 18 and 12. The wine represents the priest, what the priest would offer before the Most High during our services, during our offerings. Wine was involved. You see? But this all represents how, hurt not the oil and the wine, these things are synonymous with the priestly work,
Right.
or the men that conduct the work of a priest, which would make him a priest, right? The men of God. See that thou hurt not the priests of God.
Right.
Go ahead.
Khan. The book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse
12.
12. And the best, all the best of the oil and the best of the wine
And the best of the wine, go ahead.
and of the wheat, the first fruits of them which they shall offer unto the Lord, them have I given thee.
There you go. Now let's go to back to Revelation,
Khan.
right? Oh no, give me Isaiah 65 and 12. I got to show that as well. Because for you brothers out there, these things are going to intensify as we go forth conquering in the name of Christ, in the name of Yahushai, and casting down imaginations and teaching the truth and standing boldly in the face of our oppressors and such as have afflicted us. The more we do that, the more these prophecies will intensify, right? Like Habakkuk said, the vision is plain upon tables, and at the latter end they shall speak. They are speaking. These prophecies are coming to pass. More war is going to commence. More famine, more drought, more pestilences, more diseases, more earthquakes, so on and so forth. But see that thou hurt not the oil and the wine. Right? Here's what you need for see that thou hurt not the oil and the wine. Isaiah 65 and 12.
Khan.
You want to use my letters are a little bigger. Go ahead, brother. Let's switch. Go ahead. Oh, slag you. Yeah.
Sorry, I'll take that one back.
Sure, yeah.
I got it.
All right, don't sweat, don't sweat.
No sweat. The book of Isaiah, chapter 65, verse 12. Therefore will I number you to the sword, and ye shall all bow down to the slaughter. Because when I called, ye did not answer.
The Most High is telling the children of Israel, because when I called unto you and you did not answer, when I sent my prophets to teach on you the truth, and you denied it and rejected it and continued to live deliciously with the oppressor and do evil before the sight of the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, I will number you to the sword, and you will die the death. Go ahead.
Because when I called, ye did not answer. When I spake, ye did not hear.
Keep going.
But did evil before my eyes, and did choose that wherein I delighted not.
What is adultery? That wherein I delighted not.
Right.
What is stealing?
That where I delighted not.
Celebrating Christmas.
That wherein I delighted not.
Celebrating Halloween.
That wherein I delighted not.
Sleeping with another man's wife.
That wherein I delighted not.
Defrauding your neighbor.
That wherein I delighted not.
You understand? Keep going.
Khan. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God, behold, my servants shall eat.
My servants shall eat in the midst of famine. Keep going.
But ye shall be hungry.
Why would the wicked of our people be hungry? Because of a famine.
Right.
Keep going.
Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty.
Keep going.
Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed.
Keep going.
Khan. Behold, my servants shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of the heart.
You hear that, right? Hurt not the oil and the wine. And oil and wine is often alluded to, like in the scriptures, like wine was, we're not going to be mentally, we're not going to be where those without the truth are going to be,
right?
In those times,
right.
where the prophecies intensify, so to speak, where we right there when we know, okay, we keep looking up because we know at any second now Christ is coming back.
Salaki, I want if I could real quick. I see these scriptures come to life every Passover.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
But
also there's going to be a time where there's going to be total lawlessness and anarchy in the streets.
Right.
In the world. And war is going to be going on. Sirens will be alarming major cities, and people will be panicking and dying and fainting from fear of what's coming next.
Good night.
But we're not going to be sorrowful.
Right.
We're going to sing for joy of heart. Barakatah Yahweh Yahushai, man. And that's why we do what we do. That's why we maintain the office of a priest, and that's why we have to endure until the end.
Right. Concert.
Back to Revelation chapter 6.
We're at 6 and 6 or 7. Mm-hmm. And when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast say, "Come and see." And I looked, and behold, a pale horse.
A pale horse, meaning this horse looked sick. You see? Keep going.
And his name that sat on him was Death.
Keep going.
And power was given unto Salaki. And hell followed with him.
Right, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. Go ahead.
And power was given unto them over the fourth part.
Are you seeing how we're illustrating it to you at home? Are you seeing? Okay, are you getting the pattern? Are you seeing it in the sky? John is seeing it in the heavens in the vision.
Right.
But what's going on in the earth? Right. The first one. This is the first one mentioned by name. Right. His name was Death. And hell followed with him. And keep going.
And power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth.
Power was given unto them, all of them, over the fourth part of the earth. Keep going.
To kill with sword.
Keep going.
And hunger, and with death, and with the beast of the earth.
This represents the spirit of the return of Christ. When Christ returns, this is how it's going to be. You know, war, people dying of hunger, just death. And with the beasts of the earth, like you ever watch movies like I Am Legend?
Right.
Where, you know, if there's no one tending the streets of New York or tending the streets of downtown Los Angeles and Hollywood, you know, people sweeping and maintaining the major cities of, you know, life. Weeds will grow and overgrow the block. Wild animal, them animals gonna bust out them zoos.
Right. Hey, so like, sir, real quick, that's a sidebar. That's what Florida about to be looking like.
That's what America is about to look like. That's what America's about to look like. That's what New York, Los Angeles, Hollywood, Chicago, Texas, all of it is about to look like a wilderness. Because you know why? No one's going to be being a goddamn janitor in them times.
Right.
I know I'm not. And the policemen ain't going to police the streets of America. You know why? Because they'll be too busy fending for their own lives and their families.
Right.
Because that time is going to be very, very evil. Very, very destructive. Death and hell. Death and destruction.
Right.
All these things are going to usher in, so to speak, the return of Christ. Sword. That's war.
Right.
Hunger. People, man, there's going to be lack of food. Ain't gonna be no. Remember when COVID first happened? Man, there was you couldn't get no water. Right? Forget about it.
You couldn't call 911, sir.
Hold on now. See that thou hurt not the oil in the wine.
Right.
As far as I remember, brother, Israelite school UPK. If you were here, I had plenty of baby wipes.
Right.
Yeah, plenty of water, plenty of rice.
Right.
You understand? God damn. Go ahead,
God.
So that's what that fourth horse represents, right? And power over the fourth part, that just means those outside of the 1/3, because there's 4 parts in a whole. Those outside of the 1/3, the elect of Israel, are going to die.
Right.
You understand? 1/3. You understand?
Right.
We know 2/3. Get Zechariah 13:8. Though we teach, we don't go outside and say you're a 2/3, you're a 2/3, you're a 1/3, you're a 2/3, because we don't know. We hope to be of the Most High's elect. However, unfortunately, there are going to be Israelites that are not going to make it on this side. However, we teach with the intent of delivering all blacks and Hispanics off of drugs. You get my point? Delivering all blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians from being whores and whoremongers, pimps, gangbangers. You see? We teach as if just like Paul said, my prayer and heart's desire is that all Israel be saved.
Right.
You see? But we know that the wicked of Israel will die. The wicked will die. Where you at, Ak?
So like you said, Zechariah?
Khan. Zechariah. Zechariah 13. Chapter 13. Verse 8.
Come on, concert. The book of Zechariah, chapter 13, verse 8. Mm-hmm. And it shall come to pass that the land in Salakia, that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die.
Right. 2 parts shall be cut off and die. Go ahead.
But the third shall be left therein.
Uh-huh.
And I will bring the third part.
Shall be left therein. You'll hear that a lot, the 1/3, the elect of the Most High, elect, the chosen, right? But if it wasn't for the elect's sake, Christ said that in Matthew and other chapters as well. Keep going.
And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined.
I will bring them through the fire. Christians think they're going to be beamed up while all the chaos is going on in the world. No.
Man.
No, everybody going to be down here.
Right.
Everybody's going to be down here, brother. Even us.
Right.
The only difference is between us and you. Yeah, we all going to be down here, but I'm the oil and the wine. You see that?
Right.
God is with the men of God and their families. You see, that's one of the benefits of serving the Most High.
Right.
The scriptures say, look at the generations of old and see, did any ever trust in him and was forsaken, or who abided in his fear and was despised? The Most High always, the Most High, that's his thing.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? The Most High's thing is splitting Red Seas. The Most High's thing is, stopping the mouths of hungry lions. The Most High's thing is slaying giants. The Most High's thing is salvation and saving those that trust in him. Nahum 1:7, the Most High is good, a stronghold in a day of trouble, and the Lord knoweth them that trust in him. That's scripture. You don't think the Most High knows those that trust in him today?
Right.
Very aware.
Right.
And all the evil that's coming, brother, you ain't got nothing to worry about if you doing right by the Most High, right by your brother. Go ahead.
Khan. And will refine them as silver is refined.
And will refine them as silver is refined. Read on.
And will try them as gold is tried.
And try them as gold is tried. Read on.
They shall call on my name.
We're going to call on the Most High's name, which we would have to know his name to call on it. Because you got cats out there saying we don't know God's name. No, nigga, you don't know God's name.
Right.
We do. Under Commander General Yahanna, Israelite School UPK since 1969. The Most High gave us his name and the Lashawan Kodash, the Holy Tongue. And like when people say, "Oh, that's not God's name," and that's not the Hebrew, or that, like, I want y'all to really hear this. For those of you that say that, I don't give a damn what you think.
Right.
I don't give a damn that. I don't care. I really don't.
Right.
And any brother out there that, because that could be a demon that can grow in your mind. That well, damn, is that God's name? That's not growing in this mind.
Right.
I know. I remember 12 children Muhammad told me a while ago on a total different subject. There are things that you just have to know. I said, God damn.
That's heavy, Adawan.
There are things there are things you can't doubt about.
Right.
There are things you have to know. I stand firm on the name of the Most High and what it is and his son's name and who Judah. Like, you're not going to catch me in 10 years talking about, if we're here in 10 years talking about Samoans, Israelites. changing up stuff. Because they didn't know.
Right.
We know.
Right.
Go ahead.
I'll say, that's why I know that the I.S.U.P.K is the home of the truth and that the I.S.U.P.K follows Christ.
That's right. Damn right. And I know you're an Issachite.
Come on, sir.
You understand?
No, you a Gadite.
Goddamn right. I know that. we some
right.
knowing niggas. But nonetheless. Where we at, brother?
We on Zechariah.
Oh yeah, finish that out.
Khan with Khan. And will refine them as silver is refined.
Uh-huh.
And will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, it is my people. And they shall say, the Lord is my God.
Damn right. And that's what we going to say in them chariots, brother. We're going to say as bombs is dropping and tanks is going off, doof, doof, doof. And it's total chaos in earth.
Right.
And war is going on, not brewing. Not war is a rumor. We're going to be past the rumors of war phase. We're going to be in the war. That third woe, which also John saw in the book of Revelation. First woe, second woe, the third woe. World War I, World War II, World War III.
Right.
Which we'll discuss in later chapters. But point being, it's going to be a terrible time. But it's also going to be an amazing time. Like, we're going to be a little, whew.
Right.
It's hot. Good night. You ain't going to be just, we're going to look up, we're going to see them chariots, and we're going to call on the Most High, brother. We're going to call on Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai.
Right.
Go ahead.
Come with Khan, sir.
Revelation 6 and 9.
Come with Khan. And when he had opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of God.
Right. He said, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of God. Like the altar in the Old Testament, it was known as the altar of incense, which was in the Holy of Holies, which was the workspace or work office, if you will, of the priest of God. So these are men, and it's not talking about under as in under, like I go under this table.
Right.
It wasn't saying like they was under a stove and they're just, right?
Man,
these Christian illustrations is, kill me sometimes.
Right. Now, Khan with Khan, sir. One accord.
Right. But we're under
right.
the I.S.U.P.K banner.
Khan with Khan.
Under.
Right. Under.
Listen, you can't read the Bible through the lens of your oppressor.
Salaki, sir. Under commanding General Yahanna.
Come on, brother.
Come with Khan.
I know that.
Right.
You get it.
Khan with Khan.
Heavy point out. I saw under the altars of the souls of them that were slain for the word of the Most High and for the testimony which they held. What's the testimony that they held? Can you get the definition of testimony? Actually, I'll read it. I got you reading quite a bit.
No sweat. What they say, reading's good, man. Good for the eyes.
Man. Testimony. Merriam-Webster's. An open acknowledgement, a public profession, a solemn declaration, declaration usually made orally by a witness under oath in response to, it goes off a little bit, but a first-hand authentication of a fact, evidence. What was the testimony of the priests of God? There were men who were first-hand witnesses of the death of Christ and the resurrection of Christ.
Right. Man.
Brother, those men were killed.
Con.
Those men was led exile on Isle of Patmos, where they died. You get my point? It says, I saw on the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of the Most High, because you had these men, like when they killed Christ, when the Pharisees killed Christ, they thought they killed Christ.
Right.
Hear me on that.
Right.
They killed Christ, but they didn't kill Christ.
Right.
You feel me?
Con.
Right? Follow me. When Yahushua died, and they rolled that huge stone over that sepulcher and placed Roman guards in front of the sepulcher to offset anyone attempting to move the stone and steal the body of Christ and make make people believe that he rose from the dead through some type of, mischievous propaganda. Right? And all of that, in the sight of all of that, Christ, an angel moved that stone out. And the sister came to visit that sepulcher and saw two angels standing on one end and another of where the body of Christ was laid, and said, "Why look ye for the living among the dead?" That's one of my favorite scriptures. Imagine that.
Con.
I'm letting that marinate.
Nah, no sweat.
In my mind.
Con.
And then he showed himself to brothers, his disciples. You see?
Con.
And they held on to that testimony. And they were imprisoned for it. And not only were they imprisoned for it and scourged and beat for it, but they were also slain for it. History will tell you that. James had his head cut off in the book of Acts.
Damn.
You see? According to historians, man, some brothers was flayed to death, skinned alive,
God.
Crucified upside down. According to his history, how they died, but what we can stick to what's in the Bible, men of God, for holding on to the testimony, died. Some of them died. But what did they say in this vision? Keep going.
Con. And they cried with a loud voice, saying,
What they say?
How long, O Lord, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth?
I want to show that altar represents the work of the Lord. Give me first. I'll read it. Hold that, because I need you to hold that. 1 Corinthians 9 and 13, and it reads, Do ye not know that they which minister about holy things live of the things of the temple, and they which wait at the altar are partakers with the altar? Even so hath the Lord ordained that they which preach the gospel or teach the gospel should live of the gospel. Right? The altar in Revelation 6 represents these men being involved with the work of the Most High. You see? Keep going. Revelation 6 and 9, or 10.
Con.
But they were saying something.
And they cried with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Lord, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth?
Right? Keep going.
And white robes were given unto every one of them. And it was said unto them that they should rest yet for a little season, until their fellow servants also and their brethren that they should be killed as they were should be fulfilled.
Right. Now, this was this fulfilled? Yes, this was fulfilled. Right? Which is why we're able to say when Christ is coming back and the prophecies are happening how they're happening at an alarming rate, and how intense they are and how they're speaking, because this was fulfilled. The men that were to be slain were slain. You see? Keep going.
Con. Verse 12. And I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal.
And then you know that the men that die in the truth,
Right.
you see, are going to be, we got to read it. 1 Thessalonians 4 in 16. Remember, this is a vision John saw.
It's like, so you said 1 Thessalonians 4:16?
Con.
Con.
I'll read this one. 1 Thessalonians 4:16. For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of God, and the dead in Christ shall rise first. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Most High, or with the Lord. You see? Back to Revelation 6. That's him avenging us. He's going to crack that sky open, and he's going to avenge the children of Israel.
Right.
You see? Of all the oppression we face from the oppressor and all of our enemies that seek to kill us and rid us from existing. You see? Go ahead.
And I beheld when, Salakia, Revelation 6:12, and I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth.
Now, he says, and I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood. This is talking about destruction again, and how destructive this time is going to be.
Right.
You see? And the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood. It's going to be something that is not only destructive, but as you'll read, something that people aren't used to. Like, you're not used to seeing the sun being blacked out.
Right.
You're not used to seeing the moon,
right,
become as blood. You see? Verse 13 says, and the stars of heaven fell into the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. The stars of heaven representing what? The heaven is not talking about where the Most High is. It's talking about the rulership of our oppressor, the man in charge, Esau dominantly.
Right.
And in the stars of heaven are his reputable men. It's not talking about the literal stars, balls of gas falling from the sky. It's talking about, his congressmen, his leading scientists, his reputable men, his elite banking families, all of those men. and their families. They start dying. They're gonna start dying. They're gonna start falling from being able to control what's going on. Because they do a lot of what's the term I'm looking for?
Advising?
Order out of chaos, and they manipulate a situation to go this way and that way, and they're in control.
Damage control.
Right. The water. They won't be able to do damage control.
Right.
As we get closer and closer to the return of Christ. Yahushua. Keep going.
And the heaven departed as a, so like this is Revelation 6:14. Mm-hmm. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together.
Right. Imagine a scroll rolled together.
Right.
And then whoop, it drops. Right. But remember how it says the stars of heaven fell into the earth, meaning their position won't matter anymore.
Right.
It won't matter anymore. Even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. Imagine a fig tree, and then it's figs, nice good figs on the fig tree. Then a gust of wind unexpectedly.
Right.
You get my point? That's what he means when he said, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind, meaning out of nowhere. Unexpectedly, quickly. You see?
So like, sir, if I could, right, there's a term, right, that when something happens to you that's horrible, right, what do people say? They say your world just got shook.
There it is. There it is. Right? Perfect example. Right? Keep going. World just got shook. That's why I say you can't read this from the lens of an oppressor.
Right.
You got to read this like us.
Right.
Because we wrote this.
Right.
John was a brother. Go ahead.
And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together.
Right. Meaning it's going to happen quickly, unexpectedly. Keep going.
And every mountain and island were moved out of their places.
Right. All the governments, all the minor governments and corporations will mean nothing. Their position in the earth will mean nothing. NATO will mean nothing. The EU will mean nothing. The president, who's president, will mean nothing. Who's over Russia will mean absolutely nothing.
Right. Because
Christ is coming. Yahushua Mashiach is about to crack that sky any moment now. It won't matter who's in debt with who. You are all in debt with the children of Israel and the Most High and Christ. See? Keep going.
Verse 15.
They were moved out of their places.
Right.
Keep going.
And the kings of the earth.
There you go. Keep going.
And the great men.
These are the stars of heaven. Keep going.
And the rich men. And the chief captains. The mighty men. And every bondman and every free man. Hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains.
Keep going.
And said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne.
Where it says in those times, they're going to hide themselves in the dens and in the rocks, meaning they're going to go into places. Not only are they going to go to places of security, but also people are going to look to these. Remember, the mountains and the hills and the dens and the rocks represents governments, smaller governments, major corporations, small corporations, so on and so forth. Right? They're going to look to them for help. They're going to look to the CDC for help for them pestilences. They're going to look for, the White House, or they're going to look for the police stations and the firemen to save them and protect them. But 911 is going to be a busy tone when you dial it. Beep. Because they're going to be hiding.
Right.
They're going to be trying to find food and shelter and safety. That's what this is talking about. Keep going.
Right.
What did these kings of the earth and great men and rich men and chief captains and mighty men, every bondman and every free man that hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains say? Verse 16.
And said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne.
Because that's who's going to cause all of what's coming.
Man.
Him that sitteth on the throne. Not the four horsemen.
Right.
They're tools, they're instruments of the Most High.
Right.
He's using them. Because that's how the Most High operate. He has an army. Right?
Right.
But the Most High is the one that's going to cause all of these things. Because the world disrespects the Most High 24/7, brother.
Right.
All this sodomite propaganda. It ain't even propaganda no more. It's there.
Right.
It's right in our face every day. Man on man, woman on woman, pedophilia, gang banging, tattoos all over your face and all over your body. Strip clubs, prostitution, whoremongering, drug usage, fentanyl, meth, crack, weed, pills, overdoses, abortions. The Most High is sick of this place.
Right.
Sick of it. That's why we're sick of it.
Right. Damn right.
You see that? And we read verse 17, for the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? Not the wicked.
Right.
Because Christ is going to return. Christ is going to crack that sky open. There's going to be chariots, an innumerable multitude of angels and what you call UFO or UAP, unidentified aerial phenomena, or now they say unidentified anomaly phenomena. Chariots of God, angels.
Right.
Led by Yahushua, Hamashiach, the Son of the Most High, the Messiah of Israel, the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. And you will be able to do nothing against it. Nothing against what he's coming to do. And what he's coming to do is, one, save the children of Israel from oppression, captivity, bondage, and deliverance from hell, from the ghettos, from the Native Indian reservations, from the barrios, from different boroughs, from the prison system, from your child protective system, from hell, from this.
Right.
America's one big prison Christ is coming to set us free from.
Right.
And at the same time, burn that prison.
That's right.
Destroy it. That's what's coming.
Damn right.
That's what's coming. And then those men and their families will be in those chariots, singing aloud with tears of joy, Barakatah Yahweh, Wa Yahweh Shai, as bombs drop on this place.
That's right.
For all the evil that you do and propagate to our children and put on our face in the media and in music and in movies.
Right.
All this is coming to an end. I thank the Most High. I thank the Most High, Barakatah Yahweh Wa Yahweh Shai, because I know that this place is coming to an end.
That's right.
I know it.
Damn right.
More
man.
poverty, more famine, more death, more sword, more pestilences, more destruction.
It's a lot, y'all.
More the angel extending that sword over. You get my point?
I get what you're saying. There's one term that comes to mind that I've heard.
Uh-huh.
It's only about to get worse.
It's only about to get worse. And we're going to be in them chariots, brother. Lord, allow we are of the elect. And we are in those chariots. Right? Give me Isaiah 26 and 20. Oh, man. As all this is going on, you're going to see blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. You're going to see those niggas on the corner who you threw eggs at and threw coffee at, and who you called the police on, and who you harassed, and who you went up to and kicked their signs to the ground, and who you just mocked daily and walked by and said something smart in your mind. You gonna see those men be beamed up, lifted up into safety. Men who dedicated their lives to serving God and God's people, and endured unto the end, and were no cowards. In the face of adversity and affliction, they stood stiffly And those are the men that Ezra saw be crowned by a man taller than all of them, which was Christ, Yahushua,
Right.
Mashiach. Go ahead,
Khan, sir. You said Isaiah 26 and what?
20.
26, 20. The book of Isaiah, chapter 26, verse 20. Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers,
The Lord is saying, enter into your chambers. Read on.
and shut thy doors about thee. Hide thyself, as it were for a little moment.
Right. What is going to hide us? What are the doors of our chambers? That's talking. This is a precept about us being taken up into a chariot. Keep going.
And so like until the indignation be overpassed.
Until the indignation be overpassed, because as we read in the Bible, those men beamed up will be carried to a place of safety in the wilderness, where we will learn a lot.
Right.
And after we get out of that wilderness, it's time to clean up the remnants and gather you oppressors and bind you hand and foot with big rusty chains and take you to our homeland where you will work our fields, build our
Damn
pathways, and work and be servants to first Christ and the children of Israel, the 144,000 of the children of Israel, and the men of God. Keep going.
Khan. For behold, the Lord cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth
Right. Keep going.
for their iniquity.
Because of what's coming, that destruction, we're going to have to hide ourselves for a little moment. Meaning there's going to be a time where we're going to be up in that chariot and we're going to be high in the sky, brother. Remember, Paul said we're going to be changed in the twinkle of an eye. We're going to be in that. We're going to be, 1 minute you're going to be looking up, and the next moment, Lord allow, you looking down.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You're going to see the top of a mushroom cloud, bomb dropping, boom.
Right. Damn.
And then you're going to see all the rainbow flag, gay pride month, all that being nothing but dust.
Right. If I could, sir, you remember, you ever seen that footage of when the atomic bomb that went off on Hiroshima?
Oh, yeah.
And you're in the airplane, you seen that mushroom cloud come up?
Come on.
Man.
Come on now. Come on. That's what's coming, man. And that's Revelation chapter 6.
Khan.
All of what's going on in earth, it's not of coincidence. Whether it be
Right.
poverty, whether it be
Right.
famine, whether it be, recalls on food, the substance of your food and the quality of the animals you eat and the vegetation and crops you consume, whether that's being trashed, hell, the infrastructure of the roads you drive on
Right.
and walk on, and
Man.
the infrastructure of the buildings you pay a mortgage on, it's all because of the Most High. The wars and the rumors of war, the pestilences, the diseases, the they like to say natural disasters, earthquakes,
Right.
tsunamis, tornadoes, all of that is the Most High God.
Right.
It's all the Most High God. And Christ is coming. When Christ comes, it's going to be at his height. And it's going to be like nothing the world has ever seen before. So powerful. Like when you read the Bible, the prophets would say, or the Lord would say, both the Lord and the prophets would say, blessed be the Lord God of Israel, who delivered
Right.
the children of Israel from Egypt.
Right.
But now, we're going to close on this. Jeremiah 16 and 14. What is the Most High? The Most High is famous. But he's going to be even more famous once he does this. He will no longer be known. Like, they're going to know that's going to be on the Most High's resume for sure, what he did to Egypt and the Egyptians. And that account in history. But he's going to be more known for what he's about to do. And we're going to read it and we're going to close it out right here. Jeremiah 16:14.
Khan, sir. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 16, verse 14.
Go ahead.
Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But the Lord liveth that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north.
From the what?
The land of the north.
And where are we at?
North America.
We're in the land of the north, which, you know, is here. And that's what the Lord is going to be famous for, how glorious, like the Most High is going to show his marvelous power and his miraculous power. You think you seeing all these chariots in the sky and, you know, all these miraculous things that's going on in the earth, it's going to intensify, and more is going to happen.
Right.
More and more is going to happen, brother. You're going to see things that, you know, hell, you might look up and see. Oh, I'm not going to say that. Right? I had to throw a little joke in there. But, hell, who knows? You're going to see chariots and Christ returning.
Right.
Lord willing in our time. But until then, we're gonna do the work of the Most High in Christ and Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
I want to say the water for you to have tuned in and have been tuning in. I encourage you to go watch the other parts of this series. We will be back with Revelation chapter 7. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact us.
Right.
You know, via Facebook, or if you have my phone number, it doesn't really matter. But, you know, get in contact with the Israelite School of UPK, pay your tithes. Big ups to Commanding General Yahanna, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. And until next time, we're going to say shalom.
Shalom, Israel.